Recording in progress. Well, if you're just catching the recording, you missed a good 10 minutes of really amazing stuff. Sorry about that. You'll just never know. I'm just kidding. We were just getting started. I was saying that finding your niche can be a little bit tricky. And it's a balance of putting stuff out there and seeing what feels right, seeing what takes a long time and doesn't feel worth it, and what happens easily, and put more of that stuff that happens easily out there. And I think as you start to do it, you start to feel and find what you like to put out into the world, how you like to help people. One way to kind of, I have heard somebody say to me is, what are 3 things that you could talk about for 30 minutes nonstop? Like if you got in the room with someone who had this interest with you, you could just talk for hours about this thing. What is that thing? Okay, so finding those 3 things and then deciding if, you know, those are good things to talk about, if we don't want negative things to talk about, right? Like we want things that are going to build people up. So that is one way to kind of help narrow down your niche, who you need to talk to. Okay, so putting information out there. Who are you and what do you like to add to the world? That's what your niche is. You're trying to find your people. So you want to start talking like you're talking to your best friend or whoever you want to have those conversations with about those things you're interested in. You're looking in the wide world of millions and millions and millions and millions of people to find your people. So you're narrowing it down. You want to be surrounded by people you like a whole lot. So when I started thinking about Instagram and trying to be intentional about what I was putting out there, I'm like, man, I want more helpers in my life. One of my favorite quotes is from Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, and she talks about beautiful people. The most beautiful people that we have known are the ones who've known hurt, known struggle, known loss, and have found their way out of the depths. I want to be surrounded by people like that. And where I have found a lot of people like that are helpers, are social workers, are mental health therapists. And helpers need help too. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to start talking like I'm talking to those people and see what happens. And I have not grown by leaps and bounds, but I've grown by at least 300 followers. And I delete people who aren't legit followers, aren't real people or bots or seem spammy. I delete those as soon as possible. And I have gained followers and I have lost followers along the way. And I consider that a good thing because we are trying to find our people, and the people who are leaving just aren't the ones that are interested in what we have to offer. And that's okay. We learn that in doing Plexus. We learn it's okay that not everyone is interested. So when it comes to reels too, I think people think, oh, I have to find a reel that's going to go viral. It's got to be a reel that millions of people see. And that's just not true. If 5 followers who like your reel and wind up ordering Plexus from you is way better than 1 million followers or 1 million views on your reel and no one liking, commenting, or following you or taking the products. Does that make sense? So it's about adding value to the right people, but reels get you so many more viewers, many more than I could have ever imagined. Just looking at, I posted that picture on the page, like 12,000 views on reels versus like 200 views on posts. If I want to get my word out there, this is how we do it. So without delay, let's make a reel together. And some of you may be like, I don't even know what reels are. I don't know how to find them. What do I do? So I'm going to try to walk you through this. And if you have questions, I can always talk to you individually. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen so that it is my iPhone screen mirroring Zoom. Okay, I think that is it. Let me put you guys like this. Can you guys see my screen now? Yeah, okay, perfect. All right, so here is Instagram. Let me see if I can Can you see my mouse rolling around too? You can? Even better. Okay, that's amazing. Okay, so down here at the bottom, you see this like reel clapper? That's where you go to look at reels. So say we want to look at reels that are going on. And you may be wondering, like, how do I find the sound that everybody uses? Or I don't have the right sound that everybody else has. Oh, hang on, let me make sure I share my sound. That way you guys can hear what I'm hearing. Share sound. Okay. You can hear that? You hear that real sound? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna pause it for now just so it won't be in the background, but it's gonna be helpful for later. Okay, so say you are trying to find a sound and you're like, I don't have the audio. One thing you need to know is that Instagram rolls things out to different people at different times. So you might not have this thing, but there might be a way for us to help you get that. So like switching your account to a creator account often will open up more sounds for you. But either way, what you can do is click on that clapper down there and you can flip through reel after reel after reel. And you're like, oh, this sound sounds like something I would like to reuse. I don't know what the sound is. I'm not actually paying attention, but you can see down here at the bottom, this scrolling audio down here. We're going to click on that and it takes us to the audio, and you can see all the other reels that people have made with this specific sound. Okay, and you can also see that there's this little arrow here by that how many reels. It says 1,843 reels have been made with that sound, and there's an arrow by it. That arrow means that it's a trending sound. That means lots of people are using it right now. And when you go to make reels, using trending sound isn't, you don't always have to, but it is helpful. You will get more views if you're using trending sound, because what happens is someone's like, oh, this sound is awesome. I'm just going to go to this page and I'm just going to scroll and watch every single one of these reels that's made with this sound. People will just scroll and scroll and scroll, and they might scroll upon yours. And that's how you have a chance of going viral with your reel or having lots of people watch it. Okay. So say I keep trying to scroll on my computer and it's not working because it's on my phone. Okay, so we went up to the top and there was the save audio button. So we're going to click save audio. You see how it says saved now? So now we're going to go into our reels. I hit that back arrow. We're going to hit our home button at the bottom left and go back to the main page. And it's time for us to make a reel. There's a couple ways that you can get to the reels page. So you can click this plus arrow up here at the top. I'm trying again to click it on my computer and it doesn't work. Okay, so you hit the plus button at the top and you can scroll to reels like this. And then when you hit the reels button, you can enter it that way, or I'm going to exit out and show you guys how to get to it. So from your regular, where you're scrolling, I don't even know if that's what that's called, but you can just swipe over from the left to the right, and it will take you to where you can go live, reels, story, or a post. Okay. Just true facts. This looks kind of creepy. This picture does, but I was recording Ivory on her monitor. She was saying the alphabet as she was putting herself to sleep tonight. She was okay. Anyway, side note. All right, so back to reels. We're gonna make a reel. I'm gonna put this up here in my tripod, and what you guys need to know is that you all need one of these. You need a light, you need a tripod so that you can have your hands free when you're making these videos. Again, one of these things that's not 100% necessary, but for me, it absolutely is. If you want to do any kind of trending things, you need your hands free. Okay, so I'm going to put this up here. All right, we're going to make a reel. I played around. I found this sound that I really liked, and again, I found it because I was scrolling through. And if you hear or see a reel that's being made over and over and over again, you can make it your own. Use the same sound, use the same kind of idea behind it, but just switch it up a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna go to this audio here, and this is where we're going to add music in. Okay, so you can use any of these songs that you see here, and you can also go to see more. Usually the ones that pop up for you are ones that Instagram knows you like or that other people are using. You can use any of those. You can hit see more, and you can use any of the others, right? And you can actually search for things. So I made a reel the other day, and I just searched pineapple because I was talking about the pineapple lemongrass, and I hit search, and then all the songs that have something to do with pineapple pop up. Okay, so you can use those sounds, and you can scroll through them, and you can hit the plus or the play to hear a clip of it. And similarly, when you're on, well, anyway, so we don't need pineapple right now, but we're going to go back and we're going to hit the saved button. And these are all the sounds that as I'm scrolling on reels, I'm like, ooh, I like that sound. I think I can do something with that. Or I think, interesting, I'm noticing that's trending. I'm going to save it for later. Okay. So I have all these saved, and I have this one that I saved the other day that I think
I'm going to walk out that door and I'm going to count to 10. Don't forget 3.
That's what it says.
Some people forget it.
And this may be hard to do. Because it plays the sound over and over and over again. So I'm hoping it won't be too loud for you guys. Maybe I can turn it down and it will work. But so we're going to use this sound. What she says is, I'm going to walk out that door and I'm going to count to 10. And then this airy-headed girl, it's some Disney show. It doesn't matter that you necessarily know where it comes from. But this girl, she's like, okay, don't forget 3, which is a dumb thing to say because you're like, of course you're going to remember to count to 3. But in my head, I'm like, I'm going to walk out that door and I'm going to eat clean and exercise every day to get healthy. And then the don't forget 3 is don't forget your gut health, or don't forget your gut. Some people forget it. Right? So it's like, duh, don't forget your gut health, right? Okay, so this is what we're going to make on our reel. Participants can now see your application. Okay, I already knew that. All right. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We've picked our sound, and I'm going to record up to 9 seconds. So since we're in this reels setting right now, is there a delay? Can you guys hear me okay? Yeah, okay, it's a little bit delayed from there to there, and so it's distracting, but all right, so we have picked we've picked our sound right there. And this next one down, because I've already picked the sound, it's chosen for me how long it is. Normally right there's a reel or a little circle that says 15, 30, 60, or 15, 30, or 60. And that's just the length of the reel. I will tell you that the reels that are short and concise and really fast are the ones that keep people's attention. So the longer is not necessarily better, okay? So just keep that in mind. And then the next one down is this plus one right there. You can click this and change the speed of the video that you're recording. So you can make it really, like, you can record in normal time, but it comes up much slower. But most of the time you keep it at 1 time. I'm going to show you a little trick for how I sometimes do long lip syncing. That's what I'm trying to say. I'll show you that in a minute, but we're going to leave it at 1 time. These little stars below that, these are your effects. I have some that I like a lot, but you can scroll all the way to the far side and you see the little magnifying glass. You can click on that and you can search effects that way. Let's just do that just for your knowledge. You can see up at the top, there's ones that I have saved. There is following, reels, things that people use for reels, things people use for selfies. You kind of scroll through those. If you see something that people are doing, you're like, how'd they do that? It's probably in this effects gallery. But I have some that are saved that I like to use. I'm going to scroll and find it. It's just a filter that isn't too filtery. Okay, I like to use this one. And then you can hit below the little stars. You can hit this little wand if you want to autocorrect your face and make it a little bit less like I can hit that button and it will kind of remove my freckles. I take offense to that, so I won't be doing it, but lots of people like to use that. And then this one right here, this is your timer. This is helpful because it allows you to hit the button and it gives you a timer just like any self timer. But let me show you how. Let me turn my music back up so you can hear. We're going to divide up how we record this. So we're going to hit the timer button. And it is ideally going to play the music for us. It is not. Okay. But we can set the timer. You can set 3 or 10 seconds for your time. We're going to set the timer. Okay. Let's just see if it plays the sound for me. Nope, I may have to go back out. I may have taken too much time. So we're going to discard this video. We're going to go back in here. Reel, saved, scroll down to the one that I want, this guy. Still not playing my sound. Really hard to make a reel without the sound. All right, let me see if we can figure this out. Oh, glitchy. Just gonna kill Instagram and restart it back up again. Let's see if that does the trick. Reel, audio, saved. Scroll to my sound. Where did she go? There she is.
I'm gonna walk out that door and I'm gonna count to 10. Don't forget 3.
Okay, so we put that on there. I'm gonna add my effect. Nope. Okay. Come on. I'm gonna add my effect by scrolling over. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, I'm gonna go to my timer.
I'm gonna walk out that door and I'm gonna count to 10. Don't forget 3. I'm gonna count to 10. Don't forget 3. I'm gonna walk out that door and I'm gonna count to 10.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk out that door.
So what I did is I set that timer. Oh, this is glitchy. Okay, so I set that timer to only go to the first part of that clip. Okay, did you see how I moved that bar? And then I'm going to record it and it's going to stop halfway through where I set it. Okay. All right. So let's see if I can nail this the first time. If not, we're going to try a little trick. Okay. It's going to count down for me.
Walk out that door and I'm going to count to 10. Don't forget 3.
All right. Not so great, but let's hit the preview button and see what it looks like.
I'm going to walk out that door and I'm going to count to 10. Don't forget. I'm going to walk out that door and I'm going to count to 10.
Okay.
Don't forget.
So is it working for you guys? Is it like, is the timing off? I can't hear you, Kim. Yeah, the timing is off.
There's just
It's delayed.
Yeah, there's a delay, so it's hard.
Nuts. Okay. Well, let me just
walk out that door and I'm going to count to 10. Don't forget. I'm going to walk out that door and I'm going to count 10.
All right. So let's just say I nailed that first section. Okay. Let's just say that that went wonderfully. I got my words timed out right. One trick I wanted to tell you guys about is that in that one time I was telling you, you can go here and you can hit 2 times and you're going to hear it. We're going to just play the rest of it so you can hear how it sounds like. Okay, so ready. We're going to hit the timer, set timer. The sound is not working. I think.
Sunny, quick question.
Yeah.
Are any of the audio clips do any of them have like scrolling words or, because I see people like blah, 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 along with it. Is it just listening to it over and over again? I mean, that sounds like such a rookie question, but yeah, it is.
No, it's not a rookie question. No, that's a really good question. That's part of what I was trying to, okay, hang on. We're going to save that as a draft. Okay. Okay, that is part of what I was trying to explain is by, if you do the 2x speed, it slows down the words and kind of blurs them so that you can like talk along with it. But I actually have, I wrote down what she said. Let me just turn this off really quick. Yeah. Let me stop share and just chat with you guys a minute and answer questions, and then we can go back in and hopefully it won't be so glitchy the next time. Okay, so part of what I was going to show you is that you can turn it on 2 times and it will kind of make the words go really slowly so that you don't have to feel like you're going so fast if they're talking really fast. And I actually wrote down the words that she was saying in it so that I could get the timing right. And that's why using that self timer can be really helpful to kind of get the words in your head, like the tune of it. But one thing I want you guys to know is that you can make your own video of doing whatever, and then you can add in that video yourself. You don't have to necessarily make the video while you're in there. And I'm hoping that maybe I can make some of these not live, like just record them and I can share them with you guys, and so I can show you how to do it without it being all glitchy and weird. But what questions do you guys have now? Have I lost you entirely? Was it too glitchy? Yes, Jean?
So when you this might be further than what you're not ready to go there yet, but like when you have the words, where you point and stuff like that, I notice on a lot of people's reels, not so much yours because I can follow yours, but a lot of them are so fast that you can't read those, or they have way too many.
Right. When you're actually watching the reel, if you're in the Reels screen, like it'll say watch Reels, if you click that, you can actually hold your finger on the screen and it will pause it. That way it can help you read it or catch a little bit more. Some of them are designed for you to take a screenshot on your phone so you can see them later. But I do use that, and I can show you guys. I was planning to show you how to put the words on that reel. It may not be the best idea, but what's your next question, Kim?
That was my question, is tagging or pinning the words so they stay there, and then you can move on and something else is pinned.
Yep, let's do that. Let's see if I can figure that out. I actually made the reel that I was telling you guys about. I saved one in drafts already, so let me get back in here and show you the one I already have drafted, and we can add words on top of it and maybe it won't be so glitchy. Okay, screen share, iPhone, share. I'm gonna go to screen mirroring. Okay. All right, so we're gonna go back into, if you save something as a draft, as you're making something, guys, I can't emphasize this enough. Halfway through, go in and save it as a draft. So like, so you don't lose it. You can also download it without like the words on it. Like you get to a stopping point, download it to your phone, because it might not save in drafts and then you've lost it, and it's heart-wrenching when you put a lot of work into making something and then it's like gone. Okay, so once you make a reel, some people are like, I don't have reels because I don't have this little clapper thing, but you don't have that clapper thing until you make your first reel. Okay, then it will show up like your grid and your reels and your IGTVs, and then anything people have tagged you in. Okay, so this is your main grid. I'm going to go to my reels and I'm going to hit my draft. Okay, and this is the one we were just working on, and this is the one I made earlier. So I am pulling up the draft that I've already made, and I work in pieces. I want you guys to know I don't always just sit down and just crank out a reel. I will record the parts of it, and then I'll go in and put the words in later. And then later on in the day, I'll work on my hashtags. And then later on, I'll get my caption right. And I just kind of put the pieces together over time. It doesn't all happen all together because that can take a long time. So I have a lot of different things in different pieces kind of saved and ready to go when the time is right. So I feel like that's an important piece that I needed to know when I was first starting, because it feels really overwhelming to do all of this, but I promise it does get easier with time. So we're going back into this. Let me just show you a few things while I have this page open in case it does get glitchy with the sound later. So you want to share it to your feed. That's where your grid is, where all your regular posts are. You want to share your things to your feed. You can later delete them if you want to, but always share them there first so they're seen the most. You can crop your profile image. So you can click up at this right here. You can click cover and add in a cover that you have made in some other thing, or a picture that you took a still shot. Often when I'm making a reel, I'll stop and I will pause and take a picture. That way I can use that for my cover later. But you can click cover and you can slide this bar down here at the bottom to pick whatever you want. Like say I want that to be the cover of my reel. I'm going to say done. You can click crop profile image there in the middle, and I can move this around. Well, yeah, I can move this up and down to where I want it to look, what I want it to look like on my feed, and I hit done. If I need to tag any people, this is where I do that. So sometimes I'll tag Plexus Worldwide if it is a reel that has something to do with Plexus. That just gives more chances for people to see my reel. So I tag people, or sometimes you can even tag Target if you have on a shirt you got from Target that you're talking about, or anything is going to help you be seen by more people. Okay. All right. So this is also where you write your caption, and also they're saying to put any hashtags you have in your caption now, relevant words to what you're talking about. So mine might be hashtag gut health, hashtag, you know, getting healthy, these kind of things, but we can talk about that some other time. All right, so I want to go back in. I haven't added my words in, so I'm going to hit edit.
I'm going to walk out that door and I'm going to count to 10. Don't forget 3.
Okay.
Some people forget it.
So this is where I'm going to start adding my words in. I'm going to say, actually, I'm going to take this down so that I can do it. Don't forget gut health. Don't forget your gut health, exclamation point. Okay, so when it comes to adding text, there's lots of fun things that you can do with the text in the actual app. So there's a slider bar on the far left. We can slide it to make it bigger or smaller. Really, it just changes the format. And then I can come in and make it as small as I want or as big as I want. What I'm doing is I'm pinching my fingers, okay? And I'm going to move it wherever I want it to go. But here's, oops, all right. This pinning thing, don't use the pin, ignore that, just hit cancel. I wish they would delete it. I really do. It's nonsense. Okay, but one thing I need you guys to know is when you're making a reel, you see these, I'm like lightly pressing and holding this and dragging it down. Do you see that blue line that pops up there? Do not go below those blue lines or it will be out of your view when people are watching it. And people won't watch your reel if they can't see the words because they're not going to take the time to open up the reels section. So you kind of drag down and it gives you this barrier. It does it on either side if you're lightly touching it, and it goes up here to the top too. See? So just stay within those bounds. All right, and the other things you can do, you click on it, and we're going to change the color. So you hit that little up at the top, you can change it to be center oriented, left and right oriented. I usually do center oriented just because I like it the most. You hit, then next you can hit the color. And you see the automatic colors that pop up. You can swipe over to see more colors. But what I like to do is press and hold a color. And I'm going to get more toward my brand color. If you press and hold, you can get this slider bar and do whatever color you want to. That's something I didn't know for a long time. So I'm going to say like right about there-ish is my color I like. I like to use the same color so that when people see my stuff, they're like, oh, that must be Sunny's. It's dark teal. I like, that's branding that makes you recognizable to people. Okay, so then you see the A at the top. That can help you change the color, but it also helps you change the style that you use. There are many different styles. I usually stick to the same one, but you can layer them and do really cool things. Okay, so there's that. The A with the little stars by it, you can click that to change whether it's backlit or it doesn't have any lighting. I always like to have a backlight so that people can see it better. And then you can also change it to where the font moves and does little things. I don't use that very often, but it's there. Okay, so we're gonna hit done because we have the words the way we like it. And what
I'm gonna walk out that door and I'm gonna count to 10.
Okay.
Don't forget 3.
I'm gonna mute this because it's gonna keep repeating the sound over and over and over again. But what we're gonna do while I'm talking is you're gonna hit down here at the bottom. See this down here that says DON? That is your think of it as like a button for the words you just put up there. You're gonna hit that and it pops up the whole reel at the bottom. You're going to use this little slider thing to put it exactly where you want it in that timing. Okay, so I'm gonna turn the sound back on.
I'm gonna walk out that door and I'm gonna count to 10.
Yeah, I'm moving this. So where that gray area is now is where those words are not going to be. Okay, and so she says,
some people forget it. Some people forget it. 3.
Right.
Forget 3.
Yeah, right about there.
Some people forget it.
Okay, so those
I'm gonna
words are
walk
where
out
I
that
want it
door,
now.
and I'm gonna count to 10. Don't forget 3.
But I want to put some words in at the beginning too, right? So I want to say, I'm going to get healthy by clean diet and exercise. I might like change it up and I might say, I'm going to walk out that door and get healthy, you know, to kind of like bring in some of the words from the reel. That's just your personal preference on what you want to say. But for the sake of time, I'm going to say this. I'm going to get healthy by clean diet and exercise. Okay. Because these are things that we hear often. And again, I'm bringing this down so it's not in my face, but it's also not below that line. Look at that still shot. That's beautiful, isn't it? It's beautiful. Okay.
Hey, Sunny, what's the middle blue line?
The middle blue line?
See, there's
that just means
that
it's
one,
in
yeah.
the middle. That just means it
okay,
gives you
so we don't-
alignment, so you know it's in the middle of I like to line mine
Gotcha.
up in the middle.
Gotcha.
And then, okay, so we're gonna go back down to the bottom where you see the DON, so that's your first set of words. And then you're gonna hit the I'm, and you're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna scroll from the end now and take off some of that time. And you can kind of see where when I move that line, I don't want it to show up the same time as the other word. So I'm going right to where it doesn't pop up and then it pops up afterwards. Does that make sense? So you're like timing them to take one over one when the other one's done. Okay. So let's see what this sounds like. Let's just hit next. And this will help it bring it back up.
I'm gonna walk out that door and I'm gonna count to 10. Don't forget 3. Some people forget it. I'm gonna walk out that door and I'm gonna count
And
to
I
10.
probably will add in some people forget it. And then I would do like a call to action, so to speak. And I might put like a little asterisk and say, DM me if you're tired of what you're, if you're, I might say, DM me, direct message, what that stands for. Direct message me if you're tired of what you're doing not working, or if you've forgotten your gut health, I can help you with that. Or I might even just say untangle your health, because I'm trying to use untangling as a part of my branding. Untangle your health with me, check the comments, or caption for more information, or something like that. That directs people to stop their scroll and start paying attention to what you have to say. Okay, while we're in here, up at the top, you can click this camera. Say I wanted to add in a video that I had already created. I can click that camera and it will take me to my camera roll, and I can add a video in that way. This little down arrow is where you hit download. So right now I've got it saved in my drafts. I've got my words in. I've painstakingly put this all together right. I'm going to hit this download button and it's going to download it. It says save without audio. You can still save your video, but the audio will be removed. That's okay. We're going to hit save, and it's going to save that video with all the captions and everything to my camera roll. That's good, because if Instagram goes down or you lose that draft, it's no big deal, because you can put it back in there and add your sound back on top, and it's all there and good to go. I do that every time, so I'm not heartbroken. So in here, there's just a few other fun things I'll show you guys while we're in here. I know we're taking up a lot of time, but I would rather go through all of it than not. When you hit that sound button at the top, you can see that the audio that I selected for it is all the way at 100%. I can take that down. I can turn that up or down. I can turn my camera audio up. I don't want to, because it's not relevant right now. But that's there for you if you need it. This little microphone next to it right here, this is your voiceover. This one's actually pretty cool. So I don't know if I can make this work with the sound being glitchy, but you can literally tap and hold this right here, and I can say, get your gut health together, or, you know, something that's obviously not relevant to this one, but you can say, today I decided I was going to take a mindful walk through the woods, while you're taking a video of you in the woods, right? And you're explaining, you're taking people along for the ride. That's where you use the voiceover, okay? And you may need to go in to this sound and turn your volume way up and the audio you have behind it way down. Okay, the next thing are these little effects right here. So say I downloaded a video that I had just made on my camera roll, and I wanted to add some of those effects in. I can add some effects on top of it, right? This effect, I'm not going to, but I could for a part of the clip. I could add this effect, which I think is pretty cool. Good vibes thread, right? Like, you can do anything like this. So we're going to cancel that though. But I wanted to show you where those are. And then your stickers, okay? So stickers are up here at the top. You can add the time in. I can put funny little GIFs or memes on there. People don't often use these in Reels as much, but if you wanted to, you definitely could. Sometimes I'll do like a little, sometimes I'll do a little emphasize, and I'll do this guy. I may put that over here. But if you do anything like that, remember you've got this little bubble down at the bottom, down here. You've got to get the timing right on that too. You have a timer on that, just like any of your words. So just keep that in mind. So I'm going to drag this to where it's just right there-ish, right there. Okay. All right. You get the point. So I'm going to say done. Also, you have your little marker tool like you have on your stories. Some of these are pretty cool. I use the third one over this one. It's like a highlighter tool. I use this sometimes. You can click white and press and hold the screen, and it will make it kind of cool. Anyway, like frosted. We're going to undo that. Just wanted to show you that. You can frost it, and then you can use this tool right here. This is the eraser tool, and you can erase. Oh no, that's the highlighter. Hang on. You can erase it like that. Okay, anyway. You guys get it. All right, so say we got the words on there how we want it. They're all timed up. I will say that timing really does matter. You want to get your words right if you're doing a lip syncing thing. And then we're going to hit next. And then we're going to write out our caption. And at the bottom, it says save as draft. You're not quite done. That's where you can save it. But every time you go back in and edit it, make sure that you re-put your cover where you want it to go, because it will reset it to the beginning each time. So since we edited it, we've got to go back in and, you know, choose where we want it to be again. Okay. So we're going to hit done, and then we're going to hit share once we've got our hashtags on there and once we've got our caption on there, and then we're good to go. But I'm going to save it as a draft. I wish I could show you guys that 2 times feature. Julie. Okay. Any questions? Anything that you want me to show you while I'll still have it up? I can't see everyone, so just go ahead and unmute yourself if you have a question. Oh, I did want to show you guys just how to add in your own video. So I'm going to a new reel, and I'm going to click this down here at the bottom. This is my camera roll. So say Reagan's on here, and Reagan put up a video on her post today. It was beautiful. It would make a wonderful reel just the way it is. It was her throwing out our cute pair of jogging pants and then a cute sweater on top that matched it. That's a perfect reel. It's like your new fall fit. Like that's all you need to say on it, right? So she would go in and she would select those pictures that she already had put together. So up here at the top, you've got a multiple option for you to click multiple pictures. You click multiple, and say I want to put this one with this one with this one. These are when I was at the doctor's office earlier, right? And I'm going to hit next. So say you put your own video in there and it's a little bit longer than what I want it to be. This is where you trim it to make your video shorter. Again, shorter is often better. People like short clips because it keeps them entertained. If you make them wait for too long, they're not going to watch it. Okay. So, all right, this clip looks good. I like the amount of time that takes. All right, then this is me getting swabbed earlier. You guys can giggle at this. But this is too long. I don't want all this on there. I just want this part. So I scrolled all the way to the end to make it really short. I'm going to add that in. This one, COVID testing. All right, I like the length of this one. I'm not going to trim it. I might trim a little bit from the end and a little bit from the beginning. I might just go from here, okay? So then I'm going to say add. This is where I've got them all in there. You can see them at the bottom left, right here. If you want to go in and edit any of those, you hit that arrow and you can click any of those and go back and trim them, or you can delete them that way. But we're going to say done. You can go in.
Sunny,
yeah.
I have a question. Do
Sure.
they have to be in sequential order, or can you mix them around, or how you drop it has to stay that way?
So for literally one day, let me look into this. Literally one day, I had an option to be able to move them around, and then they took it away. I think it's something they're testing with different people, but no, you have to have them in the order you want them to be in when you put them in. It's kind of annoying, but it is the way it is right now. If you have that feature, consider yourself lucky. And so say we're going to go in here and add a random sound on top of it. Sound makes everything better. Let's do August by Taylor Swift. All right. So then I'm going to, something I do want to show you is this align feature. It doesn't work for this. That was close. I almost deleted it. We're going to turn the align feature off. All right, and hit preview. Okay, so there it is. I can add words on top of it. It really doesn't have to be super complicated. You can use your own video that you already have. You can put some effects on top of the videos you already have, but often I will take videos in the Reels feature just so that I can have the filter on it that I want. So they're all cohesive and look the same. And then I will also pause and take a picture with that same effect on there so that I can use that for my cover. But I think that's about it. Something like if you ever get into making different clips, you use this align feature. You see how it kind of fades in the background? So say it had a picture of me, I would try to align my face in the same way, so that way it matches up. Like if I did one video with my face, but I paused and I would want to come in and add another video on top, I would use this align feature so that I could line up my face so it would be the same in the same place. Does that make sense? Kind of, probably not.
Yes.
But
I do have a question though, Sonny. When you said
Sure.
you would take a picture to be your cover, how do you keep that from showing up in your reel?
I do it separately. Like I will save my reel as a draft, and then I'll go into just stories, like I'm going to make a story and take a picture separately, save that to my camera roll, so then I can upload it to the cover area. Does that make sense?
Yes. Okay.
And then I will hit preview. I think it looks, sure, it looks great the way it is. I'm going to add my words in like we did earlier. I'm going to say next. This is where, again, I have to, I would hit cover, and I can, down at the bottom, say add from camera roll. And Bianca, this is where I would choose this if I wanted that to be the cover. And that's actually going to be my post for tomorrow, if you see that. And again, I can't stress enough that captions are important, but hashtags are super important. If you don't hashtag things, you're really missing out. And maybe our next training can be on where to go to find hashtags that are specific to what you like and what you do and who you're trying to attract, because there's some pretty cool ways to be able to look those up. Okay, so I'm just gonna save this one as a draft, and then we're good. What questions? Anything in while I still have it on share mode? Anybody?
No.
Reagan, do you have a question? You look like you do. You're muted though. Hang on, let me unmute you. There you
Can
go.
you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So my question is, when I'm throwing my clothes down,
Uh-huh.
so I'm making videos. I'm videoing as I'm throwing them down.
Uh-huh.
So that's just like pictures. I feel almost stupid what I'm trying to ask, but
No.
so when I go in and click on all three or four of those videos,
Yes.
that's what I'm scaling back.
Yeah, you're gonna take like 4 short little clips on your phone. You can just take it with your iPhone on your normal camera screen, and you throw it down, and that's your first clip. And then you're gonna add in, you throw it down, and that's your second clip. And you throw your next piece down, and that's your third. You throw your necklace on there, and that's your fourth. And then you put them all together. You put them on there in order. You put a song on it and say your next favorite football Friday Night Lights outfit, and then you're good to go.
Okay, and feel good wearing this outfit with your
Yeah.
plexus gut health.
Exactly. I'm waiting for you to start adding some plexus in your reels. That's fine. Just whenever you're ready, Reagan. Yeah. Okay. Anybody else have questions?
Reagan,
Oh, yeah,
if you
I have
want
a
me,
quick one. Oh, sorry.
I was just going to volunteer.
Oh no, mom, you cut out.
She and Mammoth.
Yeah. Go ahead, Emily. Mom cut out.
Yeah, I just so I see like Paige and a lot of people put and I don't think it's a reel, I think it's just a story. Like they'll have a couple different pictures and then it'll almost be the poll, not a poll, but like it'll say, are you ready to join me? Or I'm
Yeah.
not quite there yet. And people can click on one of those too.
Uh-huh.
Is that under stories, not reels? Is there an
Correct.
option to add?
Nope, there's
Okay.
not an option to do it on reels, but it's very helpful to do that on stories.
Okay, and then on stories, like when people do that, does it show you like what people have selected each
Yes.
thing, like, so you can,
Um,
track who's, sorry, that's not a real question, but I always see that and I'm like, that's
Well-
super helpful to like have people interact with.
yeah, let me show you where it would be since I have it up here.
Okay.
I actually just had one up there yesterday and it just expired a little bit ago, but say this is my story. Oh, why does it say it's
Hey,
locked?
Sunny, you can go to your archive stories and
Oh.
see it.
Good idea. Good idea. Okay, why is that not? I think it has gotten tired of me. It's not wanting to pull it up there, but oh wait, it was just really glitchy. Oh heavens. Okay. Let me stop the share and try to reshare it again. I think it gets tired after a while. Share. Okay, screen mirroring. Zoom. Boom. Okay. So down here, like I'm on my story from today, but you'll click the seen by and down at the bottom left, seen by 102 people. I'm going to click that and that's where it would show you your how many people have seen it. And if you click on those bars, it'll give you the interactions. It'll say like 24% said yes, and it'll show you 2 and 4 or 4 and 6 or whatever, whoever answers. Sometimes it's 0 and 1 and the only one who answers is me, but I go in and answer it so that something shows up for people when they click it, right? So that's where you would go to see it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and then can you just show me what it looks like on the page when you're going to do stories,
When I'm going to make one?
to put that in?
Yeah. So you click story and I'm going to smile. And then I'm going to go up here at the top where this little smiley face sticker thing is. I'm going to click that. And this is where I would put in a poll. Often it's like this. You'll say, is your gut healthy? Or whatever. And you can say, yep, not quite. Right, something like that.
Okay.
So that's how you
Okay.
do that. And there's lots of cool things you can do there. If you use your words, if you speak on the video, you can go and put your captions and it will fill in the captions for you. That's a super helpful feature. I like to add music into my stories. You can you can do hashtag or mention someone or put your location. Some of my best stories and my best interactions I've had is when I have like hashtagged, or I mean, when I've mentioned Target or mentioned Walmart in something like, hey, headed to Walmart, like everyday life. So let me hope for one, let me get rid of this because that's distracting to me. Seeing my face up there like that. But a healthy distinction between reels and stories are where you're talking to the people who are already your friends. These are the people who like you enough to follow you. So this is where I do the most in the stories, is where I do the most talking about products. That's where I do the most talking about my personal life. And I'm walking people through what my day looks like so they can get to know me. Because again, that's what we're doing on Instagram, is we're taking millions upon billions and billions of people and we're trickling them down into people we like and people we want to be around and people who like us, right? And so then we're taking them from our reels that they just saw and we're putting them into our stories, and ideally that's where we interact with them there. So that's why you do stories and polls, to get people interacting with you, to get to know you.
And are just plain old Instagram posts just way down on the?
Not necessarily. I still think they're important, but I don't do them as often because reels are pretty light for me. I like doing reels. I like that more people see them. I like that I can get a lot of entertaining in for myself because I make myself laugh, but also I think I have fun making them. So I make more of them. Posts I think are still important because when people come to your page, they want to see that you are an expert in what you're talking about, or they want to see that you know what you're talking about. So I don't think they're a waste, because you draw people in with the reel, then they go to your grid and they're like, oh, she knows what she's talking about. Oh, she's a nurse and knows this about this. And oh, we have this in common. And so I think those posts are important for that reason. You're not just a constant set of short clips of reels. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
I think posts are important for that reason. Oh, my mom has been sitting there waiting to be admitted this whole time. Sorry, Mom. Anything else?
Well, let me say, you've done such an incredible job from ground zero to where you are. I mean, it's remarkable to watch you evolve that way. So thank you for sharing this. And
Yeah, thanks. It's been fun.
I watched Lauren. I could care less about cooking, but I will sit and watch Lauren's cooking.
I know.
I mean,
she's
she
so
does a
good at it.
beautiful job. Yeah, it's really cool when you all do it well. It's really admirable and something to emulate. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
How do you see people's reel? Like, how do I see your reels? Where do I, or how do you see Lauren's, or how are you seeing certain people?
Well, you can go to their page specifically and click on.
Okay. Sorry.
Or like at the, I'm not going to pull it back up here, but at the bottom, remember there where that reels thing was at the bottom. If you're friends with people and they're posting it, they usually will pop up in your thread. Like Instagram will get, oh, she likes seeing Lauren's reels. I'll give her one every time she makes one. But otherwise, you can just go to their specific pages and look at them that way. Often, I will, not every single time, but often if I make a reel, I will also share it to my stories. So let me give you guys an example of how to do that. So when you're on the reel that you've made, there is the hearts where you can see where people have hearted it. You can see the comments, and then there's the airplane, right? Airplane, paper airplane kind of thing. You click that and you can, at the top it says add reel to your story. So I'm going to add it to my story. That way more people will see it, because you're right, Sandy, not everyone's going to go to people's individual pages, but I often scroll through people's stories at night and just see what people are up to. And that's another way for people to see your reel. So how many of you guys are going to make your first reel ever? Anybody? I challenge you guys to make a reel. You can do it. Make another reel. Just make the next thing, do the next trending thing that you see. Just push yourself. If you don't know how to do something, go search on YouTube. I follow some people that teach me Instagram things every day. I learn something new and it's fun. I'm like, hey, how did they do that really cool thing? Oh, they're using this thing. That's too much for me right now. But I'll try it later, or at least I know how to do it now. And that's something I was saying at the beginning too. I watched how to do things on Instagram. I learned tricks and tricks and tips on how to make cool stories for years before I decided to actually jump into Instagram. I was just curious. And so if you're just curious and you're here and you're learning these things, that's a great step. When you're ready to jump in, you'll be ready. Okay. But I want you guys to know how to do these things. Can you let me know who you follow to learn more? This is very helpful. Yes, I sure can. Maybe I will take some screenshots of people as I think of them and I'll make a team page post. That might be the easiest way, because I don't often think of their names off the top of my head, but I learn from them every day because their stuff pops up on my page. And they will show you like tutorials on how to do certain things. And anyway, it's fun. It can be fun anyway. Well, thank you guys for hopping on it. Does anybody else have any other questions? No? Sandy, did you unmute? No. Okay, I'm going to